compatible with me and she follows my lead, I have no problems with this woman. You understand? And she's Western. Okay, let me calm down.
You gonna marry her?
No, I'm not, because I don't believe in marriage. Not because I don't want to marry her, but because I don't believe in marriage.
That's the point right there. You don't believe in marriage. Every man don't have that thought.
Because I'm focused on my identity. Nobody can make me do anything I don't want to do. Our relationship could be the perfect relationship, and I will never marry her.
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Yeah, right. Women in America are obese.
That's what they said.
That's one of the go-to arguments for that nonsense, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
But they're entitled mentally. They're entitled. They think you're supposed to do what they're asking for in America. I was married for 12 years there. I had one. I got two college age, 2 kids in college. Their mama was one of them. So look at the sorority girls. If you went to college, all of those girls got an entitled mind frame. Do they or do they not?
But their mind frame don't matter.
What made you actually marry her? Why you gave her the privilege of marriage?
Talking about the one I was with for 12 years. Well, first of all, I got married in 2010. All right. And we were both educators at the time. And she met a lot of the qualities that I was looking for in a wife. Also, she was 5 years older than me. I'm 42. So today she's 47. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, she met a lot of the stuff. But somewhere down the line during the marriage, she started changing and switching.
Who suggested the marriage, her or you?
It was me, and we was dating for 2 years prior to me even asking her to marry me. So I gave it enough time because it don't take that long for a man to know if he want to marry a woman. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. You know what I'm saying?
And you ain't see no red flags at all. She fully 100% deserved the privilege of marrying you.
There was the red flags that was there was not anything that was going to prevent me from marrying her because I know that I could help.
But it ended up ending the marriage, though. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
No, those red flags. What I'm talking about wasn't that. No. My situation was completely different. I had a lot. I ain't gonna say a lot to do with. I had a large. I got in trouble with the law, and for the type of woman that I was dealing with, she was in that. See, one of the red flags is the political stature and wanting to have a nice showing in front of people. You know what I'm saying, and live that fake type of thing in front of people behind closed doors. It's reality with me, but when you out in the public, it's something totally different. That was a red flag, what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And it was partly because of her position and what she was doing on her job. You see what I'm saying? That's not nothing normal for everybody because every man is not dating or marrying a woman that has that type of
we're not talking about everybody. We talking about you.
What I'm saying. Yeah, we talking about me.
Yeah,
asked about the red flag.
That was a red flag, and that was something that should have showed you that you should have married her.
So because she wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, a certain way politically, I shouldn't have married her off of that.
I'm dead serious.
Absolutely.
This is a good teachable moment, and this is what me and Lucario talk about all the time. A lot of dudes, they allow the institution. Marriage is a mental institution as well as a institution. You understand? A lot of guys see what's happening with the woman and you in a relationship. You're like, oh, well, we've been seeing each other 2 years. And yeah, I see the red flags, but maybe if I marry her, things will change. Things will get better. Hell fucking no. If you see the red flags, let that bitch go, period. And it's not to say that she won't be a good woman for another nigga, but if you see a red flag, don't give her no privilege in marriage.
The thing with the whole thing about all of this is that it's the fact that people put too much emphasis on the woman. And so this is where guys get lost in the game. They think that the game is about the woman. So they want to see how bad your chick is. They want to know how you got her. They want to see pictures of her. So y'all making it about the woman. So this is that if you're dealing with a woman and she's submissive, right? Or she's supposed to be submissive, and the women, they're saying that women overseas are more submissive or whatever. How come you can't tell the women to come see you in America? So it's like, how come you got to go see them, but they can't come see you? Why can't you hit them up and say, come fly out to America, come see me in Philly or wherever the fuck I'm at, and we gonna get it popping.
Tinder has an international setting. You can.
Right. So why
I want to say this real quick. I want to say this real quick. Most of the time in other countries that the people are traveling to, the women ain't got the money to come to the United States and they need a visa. And they need at least 10 grand in property of about 50,000 worth to get a visa to visit the United States. And that's one thing real quick. And number two, not everybody is, everybody who's living abroad is running from women in the States. People just want different changes in life. You know what I'm saying?
You,
like you have a gallon of milk. It has expiration date. So for me personally, the society of the United States has expired for me. So I got one life to live. I'm going to go somewhere else and see what's good.
So this is what I will say, and just kind of going back to your statement, Miles. Now, I will say that there does have to be some accountability on some of the men in reference to how some of the women are acting nowadays, right? On the other side, so I guess I'm like with Tobias, I'm kind of right there in the middle, right? So my thing is that, as I mentioned, men should have some accountability on how the Western women are acting nowadays. I will say that. However, society has also empowered those women to actually have those ideals. So yes, part of it's on the men, but another part of it's on society. So I'm saying that I partially agree with you, Miles. That's what I'm really getting at.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. If I go overseas, I'm not bringing a girl back over here to America. Because I would say I'm African, right? And I've seen how, like, a lot of my uncles, they brought girls over here. And the one thing I've seen is, like, they start getting into this culture. They start getting these jobs. They start getting nursing jobs.
Your uncles have no influence.
You said what? I mean, the society still plays.
Your uncles have no influence.
Society still plays a big factor, though.
Your uncles have no influence, bro.
Because think about it this way. If I have a daughter, and my daughter can be influenced by other things besides me teaching her, then that means that other things have more influence over my daughter. So that it's the same thing when you're dealing with a woman, is that if you don't have influence over your woman, then what's going to happen is somebody else or society is going to have influence over your woman. And that means that she's going to say, fuck you to you. And then she's going to listen to whoever else has influence over her. So that's what we're saying when we talk about game, is that understanding about how to have that influence over women, period, no matter where you're at. Because if that's not the case, then another dude, this is how I did videos about this years ago, where I talked about how I used to hook up with girls who have boyfriends and husbands. And those were the easiest women to get because their husbands or boyfriends had no influence over them. So I was able to swoop in, get in her mind, and have her do whatever the hell
How do you explain women? How do you explain some women in a long-term, like, polyamorous relationship when the norm in society is monogamous, singular man-woman relationships? How do you explain that? I'll explain it to you. It's because the man in those relationships have influence over those women. The man let them know this is what the agenda is going to be. If you want to be with me, this is the agenda, and those women follow the agenda. If your woman is looking at society and saying that the ideals in society mean more than what you're telling her, then you have no influence over your woman.
Right.
That's really what it is. And a lot of people, instead of deciding to own up to that and say, shit, I really don't believe in myself enough to influence a woman like that, and I'm letting society win. A lot of niggas don't want to face that fucking reality. They want to say, well, society got my woman acting all crazy out here. Nigga, if you can't tell your woman, listen, cut that out. Come over here. I'm your man. I'm your leader. This is what we got to do. And she says, okay, daddy, or okay, my king, okay, my leader. If she can't say that to you, then you're doing something wrong. That's why all I believe in is a masculine identity, meaning who you are is everything. Mm-hmm. If you let anything go off of who you are, you're losing, bro. I'm sorry.